Hello everyone, welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and more importantly welcome on board this Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner, which we will be flying from Portland to San Francisco. So our cruising altitude today is going to be 35,000 feet, and as you can see at the moment the plane is completely powered off, so it's in a cold and dark state. That's what it's called, a cold and dark state. So what we're going to do is get power to the systems and power up the aircraft, obviously. So first of all, we go to the overhead panel and turn on the battery switch, and then we connect the external power and start the APU. Left and right IRS switches come on, and forward door power comes on, and the window heat switches come on. Okay. So the fuel pump switches will remain off for now, and we'll turn them on just before engine start, so not just now. Okay, so navigation lights come on, and the upper fan comes on, and the left and right packs come on, and I think we're good in terms of the overhead panel for now. Yeah, that looks good for now. Okay, so you can see obviously power to the aircraft now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this display to the navigation display, just like how how I like to have it. And we'll zoom into this one and just zoom out slightly of this one. Okay, so we can come down here. Okay, so the gross weight goes in there, and as I said, 35,000 feet is the altitude that we were flying at, so that's the cruising altitude that goes into here. You execute that. Okay. So just gonna double check the route here. So this is the legs. This is these are the waypoints that we fly to. Right. Okay. So if I just show you here, it should come up. Yeah. So basically, the white line is the flight path that we follow, and San Francisco Airport is here. Runway 28 right is here. That's the airport, and as you can see, obviously there's a wee bit of a gap from here to here in the flight pan, and so that's we need to solve that. So basically go into the route, the legs section, and you can see here there's a route discontinuity, and to solve that you just basically delete the section that is missing and you execute that. And if I show you here now, it should be solved. Yeah, so you can see here that there's no longer a gap like there was before, so it's all connected now. Okay, so that's fine. And okay, so we're flying in Qatar Airways today, so we'll just call ourselves, so the flight number, we'll just call ourselves QR 99. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. This is fine. Okay, so we need to get confirmation of what runway we'll be taking off from. So I think it'll be 28 left, because I've flown this route a few times and it usually is runway 28 left. But we'll need to get FR clearance just to make sure that it is runway 28 right. So just gonna. Okay, obviously, so before I get IFR clearance, I just need to disconnect the jetway. So obviously the jetway is connected, so just going to disconnect the jetway first, and then I'll get the IFR clearance.
Portland ground Qatari 1, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
So there you go, you can see the jetway now being disconnected. Okay, perfect. So now I can go ahead and request the IFR clearance from the tower.
Portland ground Qatari 1 IFR to San Francisco, ready to copy.
Qatari 1 is cleared to San Francisco Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 left climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure frequency is 127.85 squawk 2705.
Okay, yeah, so as I said, runway 28 left. So execute that into here.
Qatari 1 cleared to San Francisco Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 left climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure on 127.85 squawk
So
2705.
we'll be taking off with flaps 10.
Qatari 1 readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.9er when ready to taxi. Good day.
So we need to adjust the trim. So as you can see at the moment, well, at the moment the trim, I'll show you here, set to 8.5, and it's telling us we need to set it to 7.25. So just gonna adjust the trim. So we come here, and that, this is how the trim is adjusted. So I'm just adjusting the trim from that switch, and I'm just looking at the display as well, just to make sure. I think that's 7.25 now. Yeah, that's fine. So that's adjusted. I guess I'm just going to show this, switch this to show the doors positioning. Okay. Okay, so calculate the VR speeds. So rotation at 158 knots, and V2 is at 165 knots. Okay. Okay, so I think that's everything sorted here as well. I think we're good to go. Okay, we need to turn on the flight directors. Turn on the flight directors. Just gonna set the LNAV just now. Okay. Okay, so we're ready for pushback now. So we'll turn on the beacon lights now. Okay, we'll just wait for that aircraft behind to cross, and then we'll request a pushback. Okay, so request a pushback from the tower now.
Portland ground Qatari 1 requesting pushback.
And we'll disconnect.
Request accepted.
Well, not disconnect, but disengage the parking brake. Okay, so you can see there's a pushback tug.
Portland ground Qatari 1 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
Qatari 1, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Portland ground Qatari 1 requesting the end of pushback.
Qatari 1 request to end pushback received.
Okay, so the parking brake comes back on now, so we're going to start the engines up. Right, so fuel pump switches come on. And the electrical switches come on as well, and the hydraulics. Okay, perfect. So start up both engines together, so left and right, and allow fuel into the engines. Okay, so just waiting for the auto start to get to the green line, and then it will show running on both of them. That means the engine start was successful. And then once they reach, once both engines are up and running, we'll turn off the APU. Perfect. Okay, both are running now. So come up to the overhead panel and switch off the APU, since the engines are now providing power to the aircraft, so we don't need the APU anymore. Okay. Gonna set flaps 10. Just testing the flight controls. Perfect. Okay, so we can request taxi now.
Portland ground Qatari 1 with Alpha ready to taxi IFR.
Qatari 1 taxi to and hold short of runway 28 left via taxiway Tango Kilo Echo Tango Bravo Bravo 8. Contact tower on 123.775 when ready.
We set the auto brake to RTO.
Qatari 1 hold position, caution other traffic. Qatari 1, please acknowledge.
Taxi to and hold short runway 28 left via taxiway Tango Echo Tango Bravo Bravo 8 cross runway 28 left Echo 6 Qatari 1. Roger, Qatari 1.
Okay, so we're taxiing to runway 28 left.
SkyWest Tree 53, continue taxi. Roger, SkyWest Tree 53.
So I was just going to set this to show the weather radar. So this this navigation display is now showing also the weather, and it would detect any sort of clouds that have water droplets. So at the moment the radar looks clear, which is good news for us, obviously. It does look a bit grey though, those clouds just above, just on the top left hand, they do look a wee bit grey, but I mean the radar's saying they're safe, so we trust the technology. Okay, so just going to stop shortly, just to request takeoff clearance from the tower before getting onto the runway. So just going to hit the brakes and just stop just about here, and before taxiing onto the runway we'll just get not IFR clearance, to get takeoff clearance from the tower. So tune Portland Tower and request takeoff
Portland Tower,
clearance.
Qatari 1 at runway 28 left, ready for departure IFR to San Francisco.
Qatari 1, hold short runway 28 left.
Okay.
Traffic is generic on the runway.
Okay, as I told.
Horizon Air 2100, turn next taxiway.
Okay.
Hold short runway 28 left, Qatari 1.
Okay, so we've been cleared for takeoff, so turn on the strobe lights and turn on the landing lights.
Portland Tower United 2096 at runway 28 right, ready for departure IFR to San Francisco. United 2096, hold short runway 28 right. Traffic is generic on the runway. Delta 263.
So there was a wee bit of a wait, for the clearance for takeoff, so I just kind of skipped that part. Well, I've not skipped it at the moment, but I will have skipped it in this video. I'm just going to trim that part out because it was quite a long wait to get clearance.
Delta 263-1, contact ground on 121.9er. United 2096, altimeter 0.00, wind 265 at 5. Caution the Boeing B-78X taking off runway 28 left. Cleared for takeoff runway 28 right. 121.9
Okay, clear for takeoff, everything is good. Auto brake is on RTO. Yes, wonderful, perfect. So we're good for takeoff. Positive rate of climb, gear, landing gear goes up.
Good day. Line up and wait, Alaska 609er heavy.
127.85 Qatari 9er 9er.
United 209er 6.
Portland departure Qatari 9er 9er is passing 1,500 feet, climbing 6,000 feet.
Qatari 9er 9er Portland departure altimeter 30.02. Continue to mid as planned. Qatari 9er 9er traffic is 6 o'clock, 3 miles at 1,100 feet generic. Report them in sight. Qatari 9er 9er climb and maintain flight level 180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 Qatari 9er 9er.
Portland departure United 209er 6 is passing 1,900 feet, climbing 13,000 feet. United 209er 6 Portland departure altimeter 30.02 continue as planned. United 209er 6 traffic is 9 o'clock 3 miles at 3,500 feet Boeing B-78X. Report them in sight.
Okay, so you can see it's just a wee bit bumpy. Expected though, obviously on takeoff and landings it usually is just slightly turbulent. It's not always smooth. It's more likely that you'll have turbulence, slight turbulence during takeoff and landing, rather than you won't. So it's, you know, completely expected, obviously. Okay, so the speed is going up quite well, so I'm going to retract the flaps now, so the flaps can come up. So you can see the flaps coming up. Wow, the simulator is just so realistic. It's just mesmerizing, honestly. I mean, look at that. Look at those visuals. It's completely astonishing. you know, people thought Flight Simulator X came out, and you know, people were you know, amazed by that, and now Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 came out, and you know, people have been blown away, to say the least, by this. And now we're expecting Flight Simulator 2024, which I don't know what we can expect from that. You know, I mean, if this is looking like this,
United 20906, contact Seattle Center on 125.8.
I mean, how Flight Simulator 2024 is going to look is just completely beyond me, really.
Going to 125.8, United 20906.
Okay, so we're just crossing over 10,000 feet, so the landing lights and the taxi lights come off. So since we're below 10,000 feet, the landing lights and the taxi lights will come on. Over 10,000 feet, they will come off.
125.8 for Qatari 9er.
Okay, so we're going to be maintaining 260 knots throughout. Well, for the climb we'll be maintaining 260 knots, and once we've reached cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, it'll increase to about Mach 0.85 or Mach 0.84. So yeah, so I've switched on flight level change, so that's going to control the plane's vertical speed to maintain 260 knots. And once we reach cruising altitude, I'll engage the auto throttle, which will then obviously control the throttles to maintain the cruising speed, which will be Mach 0.85. I think I forgot to say the flight time for this flight from Portland to San Francisco, from San Francisco is just over an hour, 1 hour 5 minutes. So I'm obviously not going to record the whole thing. So I'm just going to stop the recording now, and I'll just record, you know, slight parts from the cruise, and then obviously once we get into the descent, then I'll start, you know, recording again properly like I am now. So from now you're just gonna see small clips from the cruise, and as I said, once we approach the descent, I'll be back and we'll be I'll be talking you through to the whole descent. So for now, enjoy the cruise and enjoy the views of this amazing flight simulator. Okay, we have started our descent. So we have started our descent, and we're just crossing through 17,500 feet.
Climb and maintain flight level 30 southwest 4272.
And we're just about 62 nautical miles from San Francisco.
Descend and maintain 15,000 feet.
So just monitoring the rate of descent, and just making sure everything is good. Okay, so the speed we're going to be landing at is already had it on that, so I don't know why I clicked away. Okay, so it's going to be 158 knots at 30 degrees flaps, which is full flaps. So 158 knots.
Southwest 4272. B Flight 43 traffic is 3 o'clock, 4 miles at 11,000 feet generic. Report them in sight. United 1066 traffic is 1 o'clock, 4 miles at 8,000 feet generic. Report them in sight.
So obviously this is live traffic, so as you can hear over the
Niner traffic is 1 o'clock, 3 miles at 11,100 feet generic. Report them in sight.
just one moment.
United 1066 traffic is 5 o'clock, 3 miles at 14,800 feet, Boeing B-78X. Report them in sight.
So as I said, this is live traffic, so it's quite busy, you know, and we're approaching San Francisco, so obviously SFO is quite a busy airport, so obviously this is live traffic. So all the communications you're hearing are they're not actually, well, they're live communications. They reflect the live flights that are coming in and out of San Francisco. But it's not the actual, like, sort of, it's not the live radio, if you know what I mean. It's just the live. It's a reflection of the live flight statuses of, you know, flights coming in and out of San Francisco and flying over San Francisco, and well, with it, whatever airspace we're flying within, it's going to have live traffic, basically. So that's what that is.
Oakland Center Exejet 371 is at 14,900 feet, climbing flight level 180. Exejet 371 Oakland Center altimeter 29.9 continue as planned. Southwest 1431 climb and maintain flight level 200. Descend and maintain 2,000 feet, generic 5 Foxtrot Delta. Climb and maintain flight level 200 Southwest 1431.
So before 10,000 feet, we need to be below 250 knots. Well, we can't go over 250 knots at below 10,000 feet. So just reduce the speed here. Just get set to 220. Just applying a bit of speed brakes to slow down the plane just before we reach 10,000 feet.
Qatari 9er, contact NorCal approach on 128.325. Good day.
128.325 for Qatari 9er. NorCal approach Qatari 9er is at 10,400 feet, descending 3,000 feet.
Qatari 9er NorCal approach altimeter 29.95. Continue to Dumba as planned.
Okay, so crossing 10,000 feet now, so we're going to turn on the landing lights. So as I mentioned before, below 10,000 feet you have to have the landing lights on. Above 10,000 feet you can turn off the landing lights. Okay, so just gonna set flaps 1. Set flaps 10. Okay, so just 22 nautical miles out from San Francisco, and you can see the magenta line here. We'll shortly be making the right turn to line us up with runway 28 right. So as the magenta line is the flight path, and as you can see, just a right turn coming up here to line us up with the runway.
on 120.5, Qatari Niner Niner.
Okay, so there's a right turn.
San Francisco Tower, Qatari Niner Niner, 13 miles east inbound ILS runway 28 right approach.
Qatari Niner Niner, San Francisco Tower. Altimeter 29.94, wind 295 at 13. Cleared ILS runway 28 right approach.
Cleared ILS runway 28 right approach, Qatari Niner Niner.
Okay, so you can see the runway up ahead and the distance just far away. So that's runway 28 left and that's runway 28 right, so we're going to be landing on 28 right. Lower the speed. Okay, I'm gonna lower the landing gear now. I'm gonna extend full flaps and lower to 158 knots.
Qatari Niner Niner, wind 277 at 18. Caution the generic landing runway 28 left. Clear to land runway 28 right. United 2129er exit runway when able. United 2129er, contact ground on 121.8.
Okay, so speed brakes armed and auto brake I just set to 2.
121.8, United 2129er. San Francisco Tower, Delta 1980 at runway 28 left, ready for departure IFR to Seattle. Delta 1980, altimeter 29.95, wind 277 at 18. Cleared for takeoff runway 28 left. San Francisco Tower, Virgin 20, ready for departure runway 28 right IFR to Heathrow. Virgin 20, hold short runway 28 right. Traffic is Boeing B-78X on final. San Francisco Tower, generic November 42 Bravo Golf, ready for departure runway 28 left IFR to San Jose. Generic November 42 Bravo Golf, hold short runway 28 left. Traffic is generic on the runway. Cleared for takeoff runway 28 left, Delta 1980. Hold short runway 28 left, generic 2 Bravo Golf. Hold short runway 28 right, Virgin 20. Clear to land runway 28 left, SkyWest 4731. SkyWest 4731, follow the generic on final.
Yes, absolutely butter, absolutely perfect landing. Wonderful. I'm really happy with that.
Clear to land runway 28 left.
disconnect the autopilot.
4742, San Francisco Tower. Altimeter 29.95, wind 277 at 18. Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach. Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach, SkyWest 4742. Generic November 42 Bravo Golf, line up and wait. Qatari 9er contact ground on 121.8.
Okay.
Virgin 20 altimeter 29.95, wind 277 at 18. Caution the generic taking off runway 28 left. Cleared for takeoff runway 28 right. Delta 1980 contact departure on 135.1. Good day. Cleared for takeoff runway 28 right Virgin 20.
Going to 121.8 Qatari 9er.
Okay, request
San
taxi to the
Francisco ground,
gates.
Qatari 9er taxi to the gate.
Qatari 9er taxi to gate Alpha 8
And
via
flaps
taxiway
can
Delta,
come
cross
up now.
runway 10 right Delta Bravo Echo Alpha Mike 1 Mike 2. SkyWest 5215, hold position, caution the departing generic. San Francisco ground, generic Whiskey Sierra Papa 12, requesting the end of pushback. Generic Whiskey Sierra Papa 12 request to end pushback received. Hold position, SkyWest 5215. San Francisco ground, generic Whiskey Sierra Papa 12, with Whiskey ready to taxi IFR. Generic Whiskey Sierra Papa 12 taxi to and hold short of runway 28 right, using taxiway Charlie, cross runway 19 right.
Okay,
Charlie,
so the
cross runway
strobe lights
19
can
left
come off
Charlie.
and the landing lights
Contact
can now
tower
come
on
off, and turn
120.5
on the
when ready.
APU.
SkyWest 5215, hold position, caution the departing generic. Taxi to and hold short runway 28 right via taxiway Charlie, cross runway 19 right Charlie, cross runway 19 left Charlie, generic Papa 12. Hold position, SkyWest 5215. San Francisco ground, American 239er8, ready to copy IFR clearance to Sky Harbor. American 239er8 is cleared to Sky Harbor Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 left, climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure frequency.
Alright guys, so we're just taxiing to the gate now, so that's obviously the end of our flight, so we're going to taxi to the gate, and hopefully you enjoyed that flight. I definitely did, and
San Francisco ground, WestJet
it was an amazing
1523, ready to copy
landing.
IFR
I really liked
clearance
the
to
landing,
Calgary.
but yeah, it was a nice flight overall. And as I said, I've flown this route a few times before as well, so it's a really nice route to fly, and it's not too long as well, just 1 hour, so it's quite nice.
Alaska 109er, hold position. Caution the Boeing B-78X on the taxiway.
So the Boeing 787-10 is probably my favourite plane in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't really fly any other planes. I have flown maybe the Airbus A320 a few times, the A320neo, sorry that is, but not as nowhere near as much as I've flown the 787-10 Dreamliner. It's a beautiful plane. It's probably my favourite plane, I would say. You know, it's just amazing. The wing flex. The wing flex is probably the best feature.
Cleared to Sky Harbor Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 left, climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure on 135.1 squawk 1056.
And also just the look of it, you know, just the design of the actual plane itself is just fantastic. It really is.
121.8. Good day. Hold position, Alaska 109er. San Francisco ground American 239er 8 requesting pushback. American 239er 8 pushback request accepted. WestJet 152 cleared to Calgary Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 left, climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure on 120.9er squawk 7715. WestJet 152 readback correct. Contact ground on 121.8. Good day. SkyWest 5215, hold position. Caution, the generic on final. Alaska 109er, continue taxi. Hold position. SkyWest 5215. Roger, Alaska 109er. San Francisco ground WestJet 152 requesting pushback. WestJet 152 pushback request accepted.
Okay, so we're just coming up to the taxi gate. I think it's just going to be on the right.
Generic Papa 12 continue taxi.
Because obviously I can see it on the map down below. You know, if you look in the bottom right corner, you'll see the map, and you can see that, you know, the gates are there on the right, so it's just coming up to the right.
239er 8 with whiskey ready to taxi IFR. American 239er 8 taxi to and hold short of runway 28 left via taxiway Alpha Golf Bravo Foxtrot 1 cross runway 19er right Foxtrot 1 cross runway 01 right Foxtrot 1 Foxtrot. Contact tower on 120.5 when ready. Alaska 109er continue taxi.
So yeah, here's our gate.
Short runway 28 left using taxiway Alpha Golf Bravo Foxtrot 1 cross runway 19er right Foxtrot 1 cross runway 01 right Foxtrot 1 Foxtrot American 239er 8. SkyWest 5215 hold position. Caution the departing generic. Roger, generic Papa 12. American 239er 8 hold position. Caution other traffic.
Okay, parking brake set.
San Francisco ground United 209er 6 request taxi to the gate.
Engine left and right off.
United 209er 6 taxi to gate Bravo tree 4 using taxiway Delta cross runway.
Perfect.
10 right Delta Bravo Echo Alpha Mike 1. American 239er 8 continue taxi. United 209er 6 hold position. Caution the departing generic.
Taxi lane.
Roger, American 239er 8.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just trying to
SkyWest 5215.
get in contact with air traffic control to allow them
Taxi
to-
to Alpha 8 using taxiway Delta cross runway 10
to connect
right,
the
Delta
jetway.
Bravo Echo Alpha Mike 1 Mike 2 Qatari 9er.
Just trying to get them to connect the jetway. Come on.
SkyWest 5215 hold position. Caution the generic on final.
Try and
United
see.
209er 6 hold position. Caution the generic on final.
Yep.
Roger, Alaska 109er.
Come on, it's just so busy I can't even press the button.
San Francisco ground
Okay,
Qatari
perfect.
9er. Could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Qatari 9er, the jetway is going to be connected.
Okay, perfect. Jetway is going to be connected.
Taxiing to gate Bravo tree 4 using taxiway Delta cross runway 10 right Delta Bravo Echo Alpha Mike 1 United 209er 6.
There we go, perfect.
SkyWest 5215.
Okay, yeah, so guys, that's obviously the end of the flight. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. I certainly enjoyed recording it and enjoyed the flight. As I said, it's a nice route, Portland to San Francisco. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Be sure to leave a like if you like the video and subscribe to the channel to keep updated with the newest content. So guys, for now, take care and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.